Good morning, folks. How are you? I hope you are well. Welcome to another live stream. Here is July's live stream. Today we're going to talk a little bit about riffs and licks that you can play on the guitar to make your guitar playing sound a little bit more soulful. I'll look at the camera instead of at the computer. My name's Simon. If you have any questions throughout the lesson, please just ask. I'm happy to answer, so don't be shy. Makes the video better for everyone if you have questions. So, tricks that I really like when I'm playing this kind of music, R&B music or soul music or blues music or whatever, we're going to talk about 4 different things that we can do. I just picked 4 from the top of my head. I've got loads more, but let's do 4. And we'll see how they work straight away. All right, so quite often this sort of music, you probably have a 1, a 4, and a 5 in terms of the chords, right? So if we're playing in the key of A, g'day Samson, how are you? What time is it in California? Goodness knows. This is an A. And then you might have a D. And then an A. Now, if the song has got 4 bars of A and 4 bars of D, which is not uncommon in this kind of music, this kind of thing, 5:30 Saturday, you're in the past. A bit like me, I'm always in the past playing this kind of old music. And then you've got D. Like Knock on Wood or something like that, right? That's fine, and it feels cool if you're playing along with the band, you know, la 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 la. Now, if you're just in the room by yourself, or you just have a moment in the vocal where there's a gap. Hi, Tracy. If you have a moment in the vocal where there's a gap, then you can put something else in, right? Now, let's just think about that. So if we're in A major, that is an A major scale. So if you have a guitar with you, let's just do it together, right? Grab your guitar, pick it up. 5, 7, 9. That's the frets. That's A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. That is A major. Right? Now, so let's imagine we've got our 4 bars of A, and we're going 1. You know, and the singing is going on. You know, ba-da-lum, ba-bum, bum. Imaginary song here, right? Now, instead of that, imagine if you had same thing in the D. So right, now let's explain what's happening. So as I explained before, A. So A, B, C sharp. Now, we're playing it A major, got E-shaped bar chord here. Use your 3rd finger, slide from B to C sharp. C sharp is the 3rd of that chord, right? The major 3rd. And then you, with your 1st finger, you can play the 5th and the 1st. So it's like you're got an inversion of the chord there, right? So we've got A with the C sharp and the bass, all right? So all you're really doing is you're kind of playing A, right? So A, slide, A. It's a bit like if you were playing A here and then there, right? Right? Kind of thing. And then you can do exactly the same technique over the D. Because the triad, right? There you go, there's the guts of the chord. The D is an A-shaped bar chord at the 5th fret. you can do the same thing. So you've got D, E, F sharp. F sharp is the major third of D. So is everybody following along with that theory stuff so far? Hopefully you are. Every chord has 3 notes. Major chords have 3 notes. They have a first, a third, and the fifth from the relative scale. So, for example, in the key of A major, you've got A, B, C sharp, D, E. A, C sharp, and E. Those are the notes in an A major chord. And that's why I'm saying you go to the third of the chord. All right? And equally with D, D, E, F sharp, G, A. So D, F sharp, A. Those are the 3 notes in D major. So we've played the same. This is trick 1. Then D. Right? And then you'd probably hit E, D, A. Right, so that's a great trick. So you can hear all that stuff at the bottom of the chord. Now, you don't have to do it like that. There's a million different variations of what you're able to do. For example, right? Same thing, same notes. Right? All that kind of thing. So, and you've heard it millions of times on songs, so you might not notice what it is. You know, for example, or I got sunshine. Songs like that, you know, and it becomes part of the tune, right? That's what's so magic about it. It's such a simple trick, if you like, but it will just fill out those songs with 2, 3 chords, right? Now, that was at the bottom of the chord. Now, at the top of the chord, right? So this stuff up here, a good trick when you're playing this kind of stuff is getting used to being able to play just the sort of short versions, if you like, because that is the same chord, right? I've just changed the fingering. So we've got A. Right? So the same thing applies, right? You're still in A. You just got to know the notes in A. Right? At the top of the chord. So we've got an A here. So imagine we had the same thing with going from A to D. We can play A. D. Right? So let's talk about what I did there. The cool thing here is you've got A, right? Now, these notes, all at the 7th fret, are respectively the 4th of the key, the 6th of the key, and the 9th. So if you play this thing and put your pinky on the top, you're playing an A add 9. If you put your pinky on the B string at the 7th fret and you're playing an A chord, it's an A6. Right? If you put it on the 7th fret on the G string, it's an A sus4. Yeah? So why not use those to embellish your chord? Let's use the same shape, D. Right, E7, turn around. So, using simple chord theory on top of these simple songs where you have A, D, E at the top is awesome. Okay, so that's 2 tips. First one, what chords are those, Jose? So, this is an A major, yeah? So if I add my pinky onto the 7th fret, it becomes an A sus4 because the spelling of the chord now is A, D, and E. Right. If I add it on the 7th fret of the B string, you're adding an F sharp into the chord. So now I have an A, C sharp, E, and an F sharp. Right. In this voicing, I actually don't have an E, but that is the spelling of the chord, right? So it's an A6. And if I add it to the top, this is a 9 relative to the chord because it's a B, and so it's an A add 9. And because the guitar is such a pattern-oriented thing, you can effectively do the same thing. So add 9, 6, sus4. So for example, let me think of a tune that does that. That's a song by Alabama Shakes. I Found You, I think it's called. You know? So it's a brilliant thing. So when you're playing these bar chords, effectively, if you really want to have a bit of extra, I guess, leeway, don't try not to play them like this. Try to learn how to play them like that, just as kind of shorter versions of the same thing. You can use your thumb like the Jimi Hendrix sort of thing, where you do need to add those to this. They're awesome. So when you play like that, I'm playing the bass with my thumb over the top of the neck. I'm not playing that one, but I could here because it's an A, so that's an A, right? Similarly, you know, I could do that because there's a D. But always just navigate yourself by knowing the note on the low E string. That's something that you kind of have to learn. So you know that that's an A automatically, B minor, and you can play the minor major, right? So you know, you hear that a lot, particularly in blues music, where you might hear this sort of see what I mean? That kind of thing, right? Going from minor to major is a very bluesy situation. All right, so that is 2 tricks. So we had the low stuff. You can do any kind of riff you like, and there's 10,000 times the riffs there. You can play the high stuff, but you're still quite chord-oriented, okay? So let's talk, the last 2 things, we're going to talk about kind of riffs that are in key, which are going to work every single time over the top of this sort of stuff. Probably the most heard sort of thing, you'll have heard this before, right? Kind of thing, or that kind of sound, right? Now, what's happening there? So we've got an A, C sharp, and an A. Now, if we just walk up 1 step in the key on both of these notes, it goes C sharp to D, yeah, and A to B. And you can hear we're on the way somewhere, right? So we've got A, like an A major, we're sliding up, 7 and 7 on the G and B strings, yes, correct. Now, and then we're going to finish our little run at 9 and 9. So what is happening there? We've got this, which is basically an A major triad. Then we've got this chord, right? Which is like a sus4 add 9, kind of. And then we're going to finish here at 9 and 9, right now. If you play a D-shaped chord, what you'll notice when we get up to 9 and 9, so 9 and 9, 9, 10, 9, that is an A major. So the three notes from A major, A, C sharp and E, right? Here's the C sharp, here's the A, here's the E. So what we're doing effectively is playing A, notes from A, right? But we're just kind of playing. So we're just changing the voicing of the chord. Now, if we have our song where we have 4 bars of A and then 4 bars of D or whatever it was we were talking about before, imagine you've got that. And then D. Right? How cool is that? And so basically, the whole time you're not playing lead guitar, you're kind of playing rhythm guitar, but you've got some stuff from the chord that you're using on top of the chord. You see what I mean? And you can use them in any way you like. And you'll have heard this stuff loads of times, right? Yeah? Okay, so that's my third trick. So number one, we had the stuff underneath. Right? Second stuff, we had the chords in the position. So third thing, riff. So if you combine those three things, you've got an absolute massive improvement on just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and right? This is fine, right? I'm not trying to get you to overplay to annoy singers, but right? And then you're into D. Right? That's a 7, right? E7, D7, A7. Okay? So, in our kind of 12-bar sort of vibe, whatever, you've got that stuff at the bottom, the stuff at the top, and then the riff. And so the fourth thing, I'm probably going to use just the fourth thing is, my chair seems to be sinking there. The fourth thing is really that major minor thing that I sort of passed upon before. That's awesome for loads of reasons, you know. You just get that, let's just put a little loop together, see if my little looper is going to be nice to me today. It's getting very old, sometimes misses the front of the loop. There we go, it's missed. Hello. How sweet it is. Right. Same tricks. Chord tricks. Right, easy, huh? Right, so major to minor we're talking about, right? Right, and then D, 3, 4, 1. And then back down. How sweet it is, because you're going from something which is wrong right. Right? So when you hear that, you can hear the C doesn't match the chord, right? But C sharp, right? And that does match the chord. When we go to the D, the F is the one you want, right? These are simple major scale tricks that everybody can use, right? Okay. So that's my 4 things for this morning. I hope that helps. Are there any more questions whilst we kind of come towards the end of our stream here? If you have any other questions on any of that stuff, you can ask. If you want to, you can go to Patreon and ask a question there. There's like a chat function in there. That would be cool. Oh, hello, question. Greetings from the GC. Hi. And yeah, so any other questions? Any other questions on any of that stuff? I reckon you should use it. It's awesome. It makes you sound like a genius. Oh, you're welcome, Alan. That's super, super, super welcome. But that's just the best, right? And you know, like all of those, like the reason I learnt this stuff initially was that when I was a kid, I loved Jimi Hendrix, right? I had an uncle who had a Jimi Hendrix record, and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And when you listen to his thing, that's what he's doing these. See what I mean? All those sorts of riffs that we've been talking about this morning, with some cool chords. Oh, I like that one. So that sort of thing, or when Wind Cries Mary, he does this, the same trick, right? Exactly the same trick. Hey Steve, don't stress, there'll be a replay. Random question, how do you set up for streaming online? Are you running through a DAW or mic amp, etc.? Just curious. Okay. So that's a good question. I actually have a video on the channel about how my setup works. If you search, I think I called it guitar teaching setup or something, because in COVID somebody asked me, and you know, nice guy, so I wanted to help them out. So I made a video on that. But basically, guitar. I've got a wireless thing, which is the best thing I've ever bought. And people they don't like these cheapy wireless things. I think it's great. I've done thousands of gigs with it. It's never failed. Love it. I've got a pedal board, and just simple pedal board with an overdrive pedal and my loop pedal. Goes out of there into my amp. Okay, so pretty straightforward so far. Now, I've got a thing called a 2 notes captor, Torpedo Captor X, which is a reactive load box. So how that works is I've got an amp, right, tube amp, comes out of the amplifier section into the Torpedo Captor X. Then I've got the Torpedo Captor X going back into the amp, but also running a line out of back of that into an audio interface. I'm using in the video I used a Focusrite, what's it called? The red box thing. Where are you, my friend? Somewhere in here, the red box is. I've put it away somewhere. Audio, what's it called? Focusrite Scarlett, right? And then from there, straight into the computer. I use something called StreamYard, as you can see here in the top right-hand corner, because I don't pay for it. And that's how the guitar stuff works. Now, since I've been doing live streams, the Focusrite was awesome for recording, but it doesn't allow you to do any effects on the microphone. And the trouble I had, that's right, Alan, Scarlett Focusrite 2, I think it was called. And the trouble is that it was a very flat signal into the audio interface. So I bought this thing called a Behringer, oh my God, how do you say that? Xenix Xenyx, and it's a 1002. And the reason I bought that is because it has a compression and EQ on the two channels that I use. So it's got compression and EQ on both the mic channel and the guitar channel. And so then that goes to the internet. So that is the answer. I found with the compression and the EQ, it's made a big difference to the quality of the mic sound. I know a lot of people who do podcasts and stuff use those Shure SM7B, is it? It looks like, you always see them in the shot somewhere. It's like a big microphone. But if you have a big microphone pointing at here, you can't see the guitar so clearly. So I didn't do that. That's my problem when I use mic and guitar with effects. Yeah, so get that Behringer thing, and then it's just a simple thing. I'm generally not really a big guitar effects guy. I like, that sound is awesome. I've got some bit of drive. That's probably going to be too loud for the thing because I haven't checked the levels, but if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, right? Just a drive, and then I've got just pedals, like little, literally, guitar pedals in front of me. I'm not really a virtual sound because I don't know how they work, and I grew up using these and I got the hang of it, and so there you go. All right, so hopefully that is a comprehensive put my teeth in comprehensive answer to your how you do the setup thing. And any other questions? Behringer, yeah, I said it's a Xenyx, Xenyx 1002. Wasn't expensive. It was like $150 or something. Can't remember. All right. Thanks very much. I will see you next time. If you've enjoyed this lesson, please do subscribe to the channel and all that sort of stuff. If you want to help me out with a couple of bucks here and there, that really, really helps. You can go to patreon.com/Simon Morell. Over there, I've got a chart for every single lesson that I put up on YouTube. Now on YouTube, there's over 1,000 lessons. I started doing the Patreon in like middle of 2020 because I was freaking out. We were making new money, so that's why we started doing that. So from about then to now, every single video I've uploaded at YouTube, there is a chart for that at Patreon. Plus a whole bunch of extra stuff, and you can ask me things and I'll answer. I'm always happy to help. I will see you next time. All the best with everything. Nice to see some patrons in here as well, of course. I will see you later. Have a great Sunday or Saturday or whatever it is, wherever you are. I will see you then. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now.